All right, weekly update. Really been busting it this week, like I said I would, and would get a lot done. Got the computer desk in. Got my printers and cutters and stuff set up. Computer, monitor, my sound system, and then I've got all my Alps cartridges in this drawer, and that's 2 levels, guys. There's a ton, and it took me months or almost years to build up this many cartridges. But yeah, I've got enough cartridges to make a lot of decals for a while. Got the base cabinets in, got the top in, lighting under the cabinets, which are on switches, and then I've got my main light, center light, which is on the wall switch now. Instead of, I remember I was saying I was going to put in just a little ceiling light. I just went a few feet further over to the wall and made that light on my switch, my wall switch. So when I come in the room, it'll turn that light on. I mean, I just didn't see the need to have the wall switch and then another switch, or the ceiling light and then another light over here. So I just made the switch work that center light up there. Bought a piece of oak, made a box, got that mounted up there. Everything's daylight bulbs. They're not cheap. I found out they're about $8 a pop. But man, they're worth it. They light this bench up crazy. Plus I've got the little spotlight, which makes it even brighter. Got the top in. That was a job. I got a deal on this top, and it had to be over 8 foot. I had to find a 10-foot top somewhere. And I got a deal on this one. And I didn't realize till I got it home that it has that really tall backsplash on it, which kind of messed up my plans with the window. So I had to do some cutting, retrimming, and then build up. I put the strip in with the little reveal and all that stuff and make it all, you know, look nice and built in. I got her, man, she's just all custom nice looking. Got her really nice. And then, yeah. As far as like with my layout, you know, obviously you don't see paint racks and bottles and shelves and stuff to put all my stuff everywhere. A lot of it's going to be kind of tucked away, to be honest. I mean, the first drawer here on my right is going to be where all my tools are, all my knives and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting at the table, all I got to do is open the drawer. It stays open and there's all my tools. All my stuff's right there to my side. And I can just shut the door when I'm through. The next drawer will be my paints, and they'll all be, in both drawers there's going to be some dividers and stuff to keep everything kind of organized, but right in the next drawer is all my paints. I don't have a need to have everything I own out on racks and stuff in front of me. Just grab what paints I need, open the drawer, grab out what I need. And I even went through, this ain't all of my paints, this is most of them, but I went through one night and I bought some stickers and I stuck them all on the lids, and I went through and mixed them up because a lot of them, some of these paints are 5 years old. So I sat there watching TV one night in the chair and was mixing paints and just put a blob of paint on top of all of them. So when I put them in the drawer, I can see all my paints. I don't need to have them out where I need to see what it is. I can just see them all from up top. They'll all be in the drawer, just right there. And it just eliminates having to have a lot of stuff out every which way, all surrounding me, you know. And that's just what I've been going for. Now that may change. And maybe it's too inconvenient. I don't see how it would be, but if it is, you know, hell, I've got a carousel I can throw up on the table. And the stain, I'm going to use this. I found this stuff. It's a shellac. It's a one-step thing. So all this is your kind of your stain and sealer. It has an amber tint to it, and you basically just I can rub it in with the cloth, and then it'll raise the grain. You have to sand it, and then you come back and rub it again. And if you want to rub another coat on, you rub it. But it gives it that color that's going to match my desk. So my desk and all my cabinets and everything are going to have the same stain color. So it's really going to have that nice custom, you know, like somebody spent thousands of dollars to have this custom room done. It's going to work out great. It really is, guys. I've got this spot over here between the wall and the cabinet. And I don't it's kind of hard to see, but that's about 5 inches. And what I thought I'm going to do is just build a box that slides in beside the wall in the cabinet, and then it screws from the side of the cabinet. I've got some oak veneer to trim it out nice, and actually have a couple little shelves in there, and that's where I'm going to keep all my my rod and my evergreen rod and stuff like that, and sheets and kind of scratch building stuff, brass tubing and all that. It'll all just be laying up in this little, just to give it that extra little custom look. I mean, originally I was just going to just take a board and go across and stain it. But that'd make it just even nicer. That'd give me a nice little place to have all my stuff, you know, my scratch building rod and sheet and all that stuff. There'll be a couple shelves there, and it'll just all be tucked in these nice little shelves. Just for that extra custom, you know, modeling room look. And, but anyway, oh, almost forgot my airline. I've got my airline run that's going to the bench. And here's my gauge and filter. And this is where my disconnect will be. Well, it'll be a hose here and disconnect on the other end. But that's going to go right up under the cabinet, under the very corner up in here. So I can just reach over with underneath with my hand and adjust the air pressure. I made the gauge 90 degrees where I can see it. Got my filter. And that's something to keep in mind, guys, if you ever are doing something like this, or maybe building a compressor or whatever. Your filter always goes before your regulator. I've seen on YouTube and been looking at some stuff, and some people have it after. You always want it before, because that keeps your regulator clean, and then you come out to your airbrush. You always want to keep your regulator nice and fresh and clean. So yeah, put your filter before your regulator. And if you look at you know, commercial airbrush tanks or motors and stuff, they always have it before, or they'll have it actually built in. The regulator and filter will be all one unit, and that keeps the regulator clean. But anyway, yeah, I guess got to make a bracket, and that's going to tuck up under there a little bit, but I can reach under. You know, my knob is right there, and just pop in my airbrush and spray at the table. In fact, I'll have that working next week before I even start on my airbrush room. So I will have some airbrushing I can do, you know, at the table, just small stuff. After that, I'll be working on the room, which I've already got my air run to it and everything, and my power. So that won't take too long. It's going to be a vinyl floor in there, just for spills and things like that. And I got to put a piece of Luan down so it'll kind of match the level of the hardwood. Thanks for tuning in, and the rest is just fun stuff, you know, little details and finishing up and interesting, you know, more model-oriented stuff. So thanks for watching, guys, and bearing with me through this project. Talk to you later. Bye.